The South Sudan National Revenue Authority has signed a memorandum of understanding with commercial banks operating in the country to improve revenue collection.
This week earlier. Today is the signing ceremony with the bank. You've been collecting your stakeholders, like I said earlier, your stakeholders in this exercise. So we took the ownership of this state, we want to take it to another level. We cannot do it alone. We are the team with you. So you should not be thinking that you are on business lines. You are stakeholders in nation building. That's why we are here today. For you to know that you are a stakeholder, we are signing this contract with you, and you know you're part of us. So what we need from you is the transparency. And a lot of remark on how you'll be transparent enough in reporting the revenues, handling the client, will be addressed by the Honorable Commissioner General, Dr. Patrick Mogaya. He's the CG. For those of you who do not know, you've been in several occasions with him, but today he's witnessing this signing. And he will give you some remarks on how you'll be conducting yourself, as well regulating the money that you are collecting from the client. So up to this point, I will not have much to say. I'll give the floor to Honorable Commissioner General.
The Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority, Dr. Patrick Mukoya, disclosed that the NRA will soon extend tax administration services in the states.
National Revenue Authority for the work we've been doing together. We want to take it to the next level. Definitely the fact that we are continuing with your services is that we are satisfied with the services that we receive from you, but we have even more higher expectations going forward. Daniel wanted me to talk about some issues, but for example, I want to briefly state that as bankers, the way I know bankers, your customer service is much more superior than what we can provide, what NRA can provide to our taxpayers, and that is one of the reasons actually that we would like to have this partnership with you. We want also to get there, but we want to make sure that our taxpayers are getting the best services, and that's why we know the professionalism of in the banking industry. We hope you will extend, you will continue to improve your services to to your customers, including our taxpayers. I haven't visited most of the banks. I haven't observed how you serve our customers, whether you have dedicated tellers for taxpayers or not, but I think you know better. We will appreciate if you could have dedicated services for taxpayers, and even include in your awareness programs the fact that you are collecting taxes for the government, and that you have dedicated services, dedicated tellers for taxpayers. We will soon operationalize taxpayer education unit here at NRA headquarters, but also at domestic taxes division and the customs division. We would want you to work very closely with that unit, so that some of the simple questions that taxpayers will have, maybe your employees, those who serve those taxpayers can attend to very simple queries about tax issues. So I understand you have gone through the contract, the documents, you are satisfied with it, and our legal advisor is also satisfied with it. So all I need to say is that as NRA, we commit to abide by the terms of the contract, and we expect the same from you. However, as Daniel said, if there are any issues in the course of implementation, we'll, just like any other professional organization, will be ready to engage and make any necessary improvements that will be required in the course of implementing the contract. But on behalf of NRA, we commit to abide by the terms of the contract that you will be signing today. So with this, again, thank you for the partnership. We are open to ideas of how we can better our services to your customers, your clients, including the taxpayers. But we really look forward to continue working with you, especially now that we will soon start extending the tax administration services in the states. So those of you who have presence in the states, I think you get ready for that. We will implement a tax compliance management program, which will, among others, broaden the tax base. So we'll have more and more taxpayers, but we are also going to strengthen our enforcement so that everyone who is liable to pay tax according to the laws of our country pays tax. So that is where we will need you, because once we broaden that base, we register more taxpayers, we are better placed in terms of enforcing the law. Then it means these people would need your services so that they can comply with their tax obligations. Now with this, I don't want to bore you with with a very long speech, but I'm very happy to have met you. Some of you have met before, but I'm very happy to meet you in this large forum, and we as NRA will be open to ideas for improvement as we move forward. Thank you very much. Our plea to you is that since you are our partners, make sure you are your tax affairs are in order. We don't want that embarrassment later on when we are told, you are dealing with Trinity Technologies, but they are not tax compliant. So please, we don't want that kind of embarrassment. Make sure your tax affairs are in order, whether it relates to customs, whatever that you're reporting, or for domestic taxes. Your PIT withholding, your business profit tax, or if you are liable for excise, etc., etc. Because one of the amendments that we are pushing for immediately the Parliament is constituted is to have a requirement, especially for the whole government, to deal only with businesses which are tax payers. So we want to start with ourselves. And now I would like to call upon Daniel Morano to start the signing, and I'll be the witness. Thank you very much, you all.
Declaration I want to make here. We came for a signature. Come inside. If you observe there is something in your document, just underline it and bring it to me in my legal administration, because after you sign, all these contracts, they are being collected and taken back to my administration. So if there is any small amendment, we can do it. So there is no need to fear for that. The second thing, these contracts, they are going to be authenticated in the means of justice. As all of you see here, we are sending them to means of justice. So if your documents are not completed, what is this? What facing you here in NRA will face you also in the means of justice. Because the old documents I am requiring from you, they are the documents, official documents, which contracts are being granted in the Republic of South Sudan. So as my CG said, if you are not proper with your taxes, Ministry of Justice will not accept that, unless to bring the clearance, tax clearance document. So everybody who do not have tax clearance document, his contract will not go through in the Ministry of Justice. So this the small declarations I told you, I want to tell you. And the last time I tell you openly that I am here because of the taxes. So everybody who do not comply with us, so there's no need for us to work with him. So somebody do not implementing the law, so there's no need for us to work with him. So these are the few remarks I want to say, and we sign our document now.
juncture, I appreciate the exercise that was conducted peacefully and transparently. I wish we will conduct our things like that, and we'll keep that spirit so that we'll carry on smoothly as a team and as the stakeholders. So at this point, if there is any remark from your side, we'll give chance to your head, to the association, that is Taban, to maybe appreciate or blame. That is allowed in management because they are meant for correction.
On behalf of banks, we are very delighted this morning to come here and have finally legally signed the contract, witness the ceremony of signing this contract today. We do also appreciate for the two things that you have outlined. One is the tax compliance unity that will come up with a program to ensure that the banks are all aligned with the national strategy of the country in terms of revenue collection. This is very great for us, and we do appreciate you for the initiative. On the same note, this issue of the taxpayers' education or civic education is very key, because as we know, South Sudan is still struggling in terms of tax collection. And I think it is very key for us, this program of civic education program is very key, so that the taxpayers understands what they're actually paying and when and what is their responsibility in terms of tax paying. So this need to be very clearly indicated for them. Our responsibility as a bank is very simple, is to ensure that we enhance the massive collection aggressively and raise more funds for the government through efficient and effective way. And the corporations will be there, and we make sure the expectation that you expect out of us as banks will make it to the best of our ability. CG will not have a lot to say here. We have a very simple task to do, just to ensure that there's no leakages for tax collection within the banks. And with the new introduction for the digital platform, I think it will improve and enhance the efficiency for tax collection. And we will continue monitoring it and do transparency and also accountability, and in terms of educating our customers, and also to give you a report. That's what we have just signed this morning. With this view, I take this opportunity to thank you once again and all our colleagues, and we continue cooperating with the NRA, and we continue collaborating in what we can deliver. Thank you so much.
According to the Commissioner for Corporate Service at the NRA, Daniel Magoteng, all the payments to the government must be done through the commercial banks.
Today we are in a signing ceremony between commercial banks and NRA in regards to revenue collection. The government is here to improve on the revenue collection. To avoid losses and leakages of the revenue, all the payment must be done through commercial bank, because doing so will give the sense of transparency between both banks, the taxpayers, and the revenue officers. Because the government have accounts, block accounts that cannot easily be accessed, and those accounts are directly controlled by the Ministry of Finance. So we urge all the taxpayers to use the commercial bank. They are authenticated, and you pay through those accounts with NRA names. If you get any other account that is not written in National Revenue Authority names, then that is not revenue collection account. Use all those officials' accounts to collect the revenues so that the government improve on its control. This is the intention why we have signed today with the commercial bank, and we want to improve on the service delivery to the South Sudanese nationals. We need to move out from the cash economy. Doing so is why we have problem in transacting. We cannot easily trace the record if we don't keep the record from the multiple point. This will even ease the references for revenue collection from the collection point to the bank and the reconciliation point. And That is the intention why the government is very happy to have this signing ceremony today on behalf of NRA. Thank you. We have signed the contract with 11 banks and one digital money company, that is MGrush. This is to ease the payment for those who are in remote area, because network is almost covering the entire country. So where you have no bank, you'll just pay on the platform of MGrush. And that money is safe. It is safe. The same MGrush has the trust account with the same commercial bank. So directly or indirectly, we can still monitor the payment that you have done, wherever you are. The bank that we have signed the contract with, we are also following the records keeping, the tax compliance, the ethical code of conduct, service delivery. Cooperative bank is as well there. So they are maximum of the number that I said earlier. And we will not limit our collections by specifying the number of banks. As long as you're working better, you become a potential stakeholder of NRA in revenue collection. Because the one where the services are, the taxpayers can easily assess the point of payment. Thank you. Anna Farani Nalela, because Anna Waka memorandum of understanding, my bank, the Mudu with our collection. Al taxes, Gurush, Al Betfaude, the right with our Kuma. Ma body cash. Because a Kuma de ma cash. A Kuma bistakal fi bunuk. So army Gurush bitak fi account with the National Revenue Authority. Hina kita bukun mutakit, Gurush bitak ita dafa ula Kuma ufi bank bita Kuma. Usana Kuma yelga Gurush bitau da bordo Gurush bitak. Ita gadet fau asanim shamulu service bitak. Fi shawari, mustashfiyat, madaris, kulu del Akuma ma hindu matan alu belga Gurush fogo. Da Gurush tum gadet fau da. Yaliza bisama do. Wajat putar tuderu de. Ita lazim belga del banma ita dafa taxes bitak. So dafa darai bitak le Akuma. Akuma de bitak ma bitak zoljan. Ita kan ma darai fa darai bitak. And then Akuma bitak mustakalu kif. Ma fi Akuma bidunas. Ma fi mal bidunas. So inta zadu darai bitak le amal bitak Akuma. Sana Akuma yamu ke demada te dero. Itu dero karo. Itu dero shawari alkues. Itu dero network alkues. Uba kaja itu dero kulu. Dukul beji banma ita dafa Gurush bitak. Elwo taxes bitak. Shukran.
Equity Bank, KCB, Ivory, Stanbic, Nile Commercial, Buffalo, Cooperative Bank and Trinity Technology signed the MOU. For SSBC, I'm Emmanuel Patrick, National Revenue Authority, Juba.